Today's highlights. Whales are frantically shorting. Is this the halftime of a bull market or the eve of a crash? Zhao Changpeng said, I also lost money in this round of WIX, but I hope Trump will pardon me so I can return to Binance. Can you guess how much Trump Jr. is worth now? Where will he go next to be an executive? It's Tuesday, October 14th. This is the BitcoinTV Chinese channel by Chain Hezan. I'm Mike. Let's first take a look at the most important data summary from the past 24 hours in the crypto world. Our headline segment is designed so you can quickly browse, in just a minute or two, what happened in the crypto world over the past 24 hours, covering data, news, and some macro changes. Over the past year, I've told everyone, what's the hottest thing in crypto? It's stablecoins. In 2022, 400,000 people used stablecoins for transfers. 2 weeks ago, it was 720,000, and today, the number has reached 1 million. So this is basically like the Spring Festival travel rush on the blockchain. What's the corresponding situation? Exchange rates globally are a complete mess right now, like a hot pot. Capital controls are stricter than a parent-teacher meeting, right? If you deposit money or make a transfer, the bank reviews where you're sending it, afraid you might get taken advantage of. So everyone has learned to take charge of their own money and started depositing dollars on-chain. Perpetual contracts, prediction markets, RWA, all of these settle with stablecoins. So who benefits the most? Ethereum. The Ethereum blockchain has already become the digital version of the SWIFT system. Let's take another look. Things are bustling on Ethereum. The total market cap of stablecoins on Ethereum is $310 billion, with USDT at $179.9 billion and USDC at $75.8 billion. So the dollar alliance in the crypto world seems to be getting bigger and bigger. Unfortunately, while things are lively on-chain, the macro environment isn't cooperating. A bucket of cold water was poured on us yesterday, right? With the US-China tariff war escalating, $326 million flowed out of Bitcoin ETFs and $429 million out of Ethereum ETFs, nearly $800 million withdrawn in just 2 days. This outflow pace is even faster than when big players dumped after major airdrops. So what's the market's current state? It's like Trump's tweets. Everything looks explosive, but fundamentals are hollow. So next, we need to see whether Trump is really going to cool down the crypto market or if he's just talking big to pump things up. Guys, there's no need to rush right now. I think the real show is just getting started. Bitcoin has started dropping again. This morning, it crashed straight through support, plunging all the way to 114,000. Ethereum is also stuck at $4,200, starting to lose steam. But don't panic, the on-chain data is even colder than the market sentiment. There are only 2.4 million Bitcoins left on exchanges now. That's the lowest it's been in years. Back in 2020, that number was 3.5 million, which means most of the Bitcoin has really been locked away in cold wallets. At the same time, the army of short sellers in the market has started to gather. An old whale known as BTCog made $160 million shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum during that big crash. Two other hyperliquid whales have also made some bold moves. The address 0x9b1c9, after making $318 million, went on to short $980 million worth of Dogecoin, Ethereum, PP, Ripple, and Asta. The address 0x9263, after earning $123 million, turned around and shorted another $840 million. Who did they short? Solana and Bitcoin. So what's happening at the table right now? It seems that long-term capital is locking up their tokens, but the whales are desperately shorting. As a result, Bitcoin is stuck at 114,000, playing dead and not moving. Actually, I think this has been premeditated, quote-unquote, but there's no doubt that the supply is tight. There are fewer and fewer tokens in circulation, and the whales are battling it out with institutions and retail investors. Looking at the market, it's really hard to say who will win or lose. But one thing is certain, the market will have some ups and downs in the near future. However, for retail investors, as long as you don't use leverage, buying on the dips is definitely the right move. And the market is holding back for a big move. If you don't believe it, just wait and see. Forbes is stirring things up again. Rumors are spreading wildly in the community that Changpeng Zhao's assets skyrocketed by tens of billions of dollars during this flash crash. So CZ himself came out to clarify. Don't believe what you see, that data isn't real-time or accurate. I lost money this time, not made it. But on-chain data is what's truly accurate. The MVRV ratio for Bitcoin is currently around 2.0, which is still only half of the historical overheating threshold of 4.0. In other words, this is just halftime in the bull market, not the final farewell. Most wallets are still showing profits on paper, right? But don't get carried away. Long-term holders are still clinging tightly to their coins. Exchange reserves keep dropping. ETFs are steadily accumulating, and the selling pressure from miners is clearly easing. So how could this possibly be a market crash? It's obviously just a very healthy correction and checkup. So the market is just shaking out the excess and shifting hands. Don't be scared by a flash crash. Every flash crash is just the market backing up to pick you up. This isn't the end of the bull market. A lot of people say it's over, but I think we've just finished the appetizer and are waiting for the main course. All right, please like and turn on the notification bell. I'm here to help you with the latest in crypto, blockchain, mining, and closest to your wallet over the past 24 hours. As for that crash a few days ago, on Monday morning, during our Sunday night live stream, we said the market would rebound on Monday. No need to ask why, it's intuition from years of experience. After you've suffered enough losses and setbacks, you get closer to the truth. That's the kind of intuition you develop. A lot of people are saying that this crash was caused by Trump's 19-year-old son Barron, but on-chain data shows that the big short this time was actually a trader, and he's Chinese. His name is Garrett King. He placed his order precisely before Trump tweeted and made $80 million in one go. Now, let's take another look at Barron. Although there's no on-chain evidence that he made $190 million, he's already worth $150 million at just barely reaching adulthood. If you say he's the most fortunate Gen Z when it comes to being born into the right family, I don't think anyone would disagree. So, this chosen young master is currently studying at NYU's Washington, D.C. campus and occasionally moves back to the White House. Even though he's still a student and has just come of age, he's already considered a political force in his own right. I remember during Trump's election, his mother Melania once said that their youngest son Barron would be the key driving force behind Trump's victory in 2024. Why is that? Because he's especially good at attracting young voters. The latest news is that Barron is going to take an executive position at TikTok. So do you think he's doing this for his own career, or is he working to help his family secure the youth vote?
Last September, Barron Trump became the co-founder of the Trump Family Project, World Freedom Finance Wi-Fi. This project has brought the family huge profits and has also allowed Barron to quickly accumulate wealth. Now, Trump's former social media manager, Jack Edwin, has suggested that the president consider arranging a senior position at TikTok for Barron. The reason is straightforward. TikTok's user base is mainly young people, and Barron is the best candidate to break into their circle.
He has a tall and strong son named Barron. Have you heard of this name before? He knows about the votes from young people. We received 36 points from the youth vote.
Public information shows that Barron Trump's core assets are concentrated in the family crypto project Wi-Fi, which has completed a total token sale of $500 to $550 million, with the family enjoying 75% of the profits. Media estimates put Barron's personal profit at about $40 million, with around $25 million after taxes. Wi-Fi also plans to issue the USDE dollar stablecoin and expand through cooperation with Alt-5 Sigma. The Trump family controls about 2.25 billion Wi-Fi tokens, which accounts for around 60% of the equity and forms the core of their crypto wealth.
So Barron going to TikTok as an executive is only natural. Why? Everyone remembers that in 2020, Trump said TikTok was a national security threat and wanted to ban it. 5 years later, Trump changed his tune right in front of the White House, saying he wanted to save TikTok. So what's the story here? What's the background? The US has a very clear calculation. TikTok has 170 million users in the US, 2/3 of whom are young people. So whoever controls TikTok controls the votes in America, especially the votes of young people. And at a critical moment, TikTok's major shareholder, Yas, is actually one of Trump's longtime financial backers. So saving TikTok is really just returning the favor. Now, Trump has arranged for American tycoons like Larry Ellison, Rupert Murdoch, and Michael Dell to take over 65% of TikTok's shares, leaving ByteDance with only 20%. They call it Americanization, but in reality, it's just an American-style takeover. To put it bluntly, this time Barron isn't going there to take office, he's going there to secure things for his own son. When the market is unstable, the biggest fear is that the exchange's network will go down. As everyone knows, on the day of the big liquidation, the 11th, Binance, the world's largest exchange, basically froze up. Users couldn't place orders or close positions, and people were so anxious they were slamming tables and cursing. Everyone was saying, pulling the plug at a critical moment, do you even deserve to be called Binance? Fortunately, CZ reacted quickly and put out the fire overnight. As a result, not only did the turmoil not hurt Binance, but BNB actually went up against the trend, becoming a safe haven for Wall Street capital. So this isn't just a coincidence. Huaxing Capital and CZ's family office are preparing to raise $600 million to invest in BNB-related assets. No matter how you look at it, this move seems like institutions are getting in early on BNB.
According to reports from US media, Huaxing Capital is in talks with CZ's family office, Wise Labs, planning to jointly raise about $600 million to set up a digital asset treasury company in the US dedicated to investing in BNB. Both parties will initially contribute $200 million to kick things off, And this is not their first collaboration. At the same time, Binance, together with Sin Futures, has called on developers to deploy prediction applications on BNB chain, with Wise Labs providing financial support.
So what's the issue here? The issue is that official slogans are useless. We need to see if the money is actually coming onto the chain. Looking at the on-chain data from the past 3 months, it's clear BNB chain has seen a net capital inflow of $182 million, and the ecosystem is clearly heating up. Currently, its market cap stands at $128 billion, making it the third largest public chain, with most of its users based in Asia. Right now, everyone is focused on the prediction market sector. Polymarket has a monthly trading volume of $2 billion, while on BNB chain, questions like what will the price of the new Xiaomi car be? And topics like Meituan or L8Me, these very down-to-earth subjects, are virtually untapped blue oceans. In other words, the Chinese language prediction market carries significant weight. In addition, BNB Smart Chain has advantages when it comes to application development. It's fast, has low transaction fees, and there's ample liquidity on-chain. The Oracle mechanism is also quite unique. On top of that, Wise Labs has already taken action. They've invested in opinion within the ecosystem, and preparations are underway for its mainnet launch. So the key now is whether Binance Smart Chain can turn these everyday matters around us into high-frequency applications that we're actually willing to bet on. Everyone, take a guess. How high can BNB really go? The White House is discussing whether to pardon Changpeng Zhao. Is this for real or just hype? Is there something fishy going on behind the scenes? It's not just about mining coins and breaking into the top 5 anymore. Now they're bringing ID verification to Ethereum, and their ambitions can no longer be hidden. You probably still remember that Changpeng Zhao spent 4 months in jail and 4 months working at a sewing machine because of Binance's money laundering scandal. Changpeng Zhao became the first billionaire to go to jail for compliance issues. On the surface, it looks like a crackdown on money laundering, but what is it really? It's the US sending a warning to others by making an example. You blew up FTX, didn't you? So the regulators had to set some rules for the top players, and in the end, they fined you $7.1 billion, which is almost exactly the amount you were going to use to acquire FTX. To put it bluntly, what do you call this? It's paying protection money in exchange for the right to keep doing business. As for Trump, as soon as he took office, he actually pardoned Ross Ulbricht, the founder of Silk Road. This was basically a clear signal to the crypto community that regulation is something we can negotiate. So when Zhao Changpeng saw this, he thought there was hope, and in May, he even announced on a podcast, "I'm applying for a pardon." Now this matter is really starting to gain traction.
I appreciate that. So, but there are legal means to apply for it, right? Of course, I've got lawyers handling the application, I'm sure. We only submitted it after the Bloomberg article and the Wall Street Journal article came out, and then I was like, well, if they're writing these articles, we might as well just officially apply, right? So at the time, I was like, and then this also just happened very recently. So I think we only submitted the application 2 weeks ago.
According to the New York Times, Trump's team believes that the evidence against Changpeng Zhao is weak and insufficient to support a felony conviction or imprisonment, so Trump is inclined to grant a pardon. If this comes true, it will pave the way for Changpeng Zhao to return to the crypto exchange business, since he is still Binance's largest shareholder. Starting around the 2024 U.S. presidential election, Binance set up a special team to liaise with the Trump camp and began cooperating with World Freedom Finance, Wi-Fi, a crypto company supported by the Trump family. The latter even hired a close friend of Changpeng Zhao to help with the issuance of stablecoins. The two sides once discussed a business plan for the Trump family to invest in Binance US, which was seen as part of Binance's strategy to re-enter the US market and coordinate efforts for Changpeng Zhao to seek a pardon.
But if Trump really does let CZ go this time, there's one accusation he probably can't shake off. What's that called? It's called the accusation of transferring benefits. Why? Because after all, they issued the Trump token, and the Trump token was even listed on Binance. On one hand, they're running a financial company. On the other, a token issuing company, plus there's WLF2. With all these benefit transfers, Trump probably can't shake off this accusation. But for CZ, for Binance, this isn't exactly a do-or-die game-changing card. To put it bluntly, even if CZ is no longer the CEO of Binance, does anyone really see CZ and Binance as two separate people or two unrelated things? Of course, some people sneer and say if Trump really lets CZ off the hook this time, then they might as well just delete the anti-money laundering laws altogether. But I think Trump has his own calculations. Who knows, maybe after this pardon, Trump could even become a Binance shareholder. But I believe this bargaining chip or this clause should, or at least once did, work well. Now, crypto assets have become a competition between major powers, or rather between large groups. But what about small countries? Let's take a look at the country of Bhutan. Bhutan has a population of only 800,000, but the country has been quietly accomplishing big things. Not only has it maintained its reputation as a carbon-negative nation without wasting money, but it has also secretly accumulated a large stash of Bitcoin. Now, Bhutan has directly entered the top 5 countries in the world in terms of Bitcoin holdings. According to Bitcoin data, Bhutan holds 112,286 bitcoins, valued at about $130 million US. This places them just behind the US, China, UK, and Ukraine. In late September, they even met with Binance's former CEO, Changpeng Zhao, suggesting plans for moves in the cryptocurrency space. Think about it. What are small countries most afraid of when it comes to getting involved in crypto? What they fear is just following the crowd and lacking any unique features. But Bhutan has seized the advantage by combining green energy with sovereign digital infrastructure. It looks like they're set to take the lead in crypto mining.
Bhutan has officially migrated its national ID system from Polygon to Ethereum, allowing its 800,000 residents to verify their identities, handle government affairs, and access services on-chain. According to Ethereum Foundation chairwoman Aya Miyaguchi, the integration has been completed, and a full migration is expected in the first quarter of 2026. The launch ceremony was attended by Vitalik Buterin, Bhutan's Prime Minister Lotay Tshering, and Crown Prince Jigme Namgyel Wangchuck. The new system also connects the financial and healthcare sectors. People without bank accounts can use their identity wallets to access the financial system, and the system will also connect to Japan's digital health platform, enabling medical insurance reimbursement and remote consultations.
I really admire the King of Bhutan for putting the national identity system on the blockchain. This is the first time anyone's done that. And moving from Polygon to Ethereum, I think that's a smart move. Polygon is honestly extremely hard to use. No, it's not just hard to use, it's a pile of crap. Anyone who's used the Polygon network, feel free to comment below about whether you think it's hard to use, or maybe I'm just unlucky and always run into it crashing. Alright, so now that Bhutan has put its identity system and citizens' privacy on the blockchain, we really shouldn't underestimate this move, even if it's a small country, or you might say it's just leveraging the trend. I believe this isn't just a technological upgrade, it's actually the first crucial step for Bhutan's economy. As you all know, the country's sovereign wealth fund, DHI, is relying on the construction of this identity system to create a closed loop for sovereignty or for financial services. Think about it. If this experiment in Bhutan succeeds, not only will they have a nationwide financial verification service system, but with their first mover advantage, just imagine how much compliant on-chain capital they could attract. All right, let's look at the newsflash.
HKEX CEO Star has spoken out, saying that XLayer doesn't oppose meme coins, but is against exchanges getting directly involved. He joked about self-amusement and pointed out that some platforms lure retail investors with airdrops of coins that promise hundredfold returns, only to end up burning themselves. He joked that blockchain isn't a dream-making machine, but a trust engineering project. OpenSea is knocking on the door again. On October 14th, they reminded everyone on X that if you want to win prizes, you need to link your EVM wallet first, because most of the rewards are distributed on EVM chains. If you do not link it, all your efforts will be in vain. No wallet, no rewards. Gold has truly made a kingly comeback this time, soaring all the way to $4,100 per ounce and breaking records again, with a hard-earned increase of nearly $1,500 this year. When the stock market falls, gold rises. When the dollar is speculated on, gold laughs. It's practically become a global safe haven and cash machine for capital. Kenya is really doubling down on crypto this time. Parliament has passed a new bill. The central bank will directly regulate stablecoins, and trading profits will require a license. The government has a shrewd plan, bringing in Binance and Coinbase to set up shop, aiming to make Kenya the top player in Africa's crypto scene. That hacker who stole funds from Coinbase users sold 111,323 SOL for $23.23 million at an average price of $208.70 each. He's still holding 212,000 SOL, worth $46.18 million. His moves are even steadier than a fund manager's.
All right, here are some of my recent thoughts. Being able to live comfortably is the real skill. Within our own abilities, we should avoid taking losses whenever possible. Don't let any harsh words get to you. If you don't like someone, just delete them. If you can't, then block or mute them. Out of sight, out of mind, life gets a lot easier that way, doesn't it? We're all just ordinary people, just like leeks waiting to be cut. Let me ask you, do ordinary people really need to chase after some huge, extraordinary happiness? First, avoid all those annoying things, and life will go smoothly. Don't always feel like you owe something or that you haven't sacrificed enough. You're not anyone's appendage. What's there to sacrifice anyway? If you're hot, turn on the air conditioner. If you're sick, just lie down and rest. If something can make you feel comfortable, don't force yourself to endure grievances. There's a saying I really like, and it's also my life motto. People don't die just because they get old. Sometimes accidents come before your plans do. So while you can spoil yourself as much as possible and live joyfully, as long as you feel good, that's the most important thing. Please remember, don't suffer unnecessarily. Just live a life where you call the shots. If you get it, feel free to give a like. Alright, that's all for today. Every day we help you sort through the big and small news in Web3. Here, we've also organized some membership benefits. Please take a look if you're interested. Don't miss our members-only live stream this Thursday. We hope to lead everyone to hustle together in this bull market and gradually become wealthier. See you tomorrow.